So what we're going to do is we're going to, ooh, I don't have it anymore. Okay, so what are we doing? Hey, welcome. Sorry, what we're doing is we're talking about the abacus. And we're talking about the abacus. What we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to learn how to use the abacus, how to read the abacus. When we read the abacus, we have these beads. These are the beads. Oh, yeah, so make sure we can hear it again. Okay, good. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. The horizontal bar is what we need to keep track of. The horizontal bar tracks our beads. So when we do it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Because the horizontal bar tracks our numbers, none of these beads are counted. Because none of these beads are counted, this is the only one that's 4. This is 4. And then this is 5. The top bead will always has a value of 5 no matter what. The top bead. So this is the top bead and it has a value of 5. The top bead is the thing that's above the horizontal bar because the horizontal bar tracks our beads. So what's going to happen is we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we have 10. So notice if we did this, it looks familiar, doesn't it? So this is 1. This is 1. 1, 1. Is that the correct? Well, no, because we also got to talk about our place values. So we have 1. And then this is 10. This is 100. This is 1,000. And then this is $10,000. So when we're looking at it, this is what it would look like. And what I did was, hello, welcome. Hello, Frank and Kid and Marie Cruz. Okay, so when we look at it, we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, and our 10,000, just as we've written here. So every place value is a column. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. All the, Linny Poo, hey Dumpling. Okay, all the lower beads, anything underneath the horizontal bar is considered a value of 1. Because this is a value of 1, the top bead has a value of 5. Because the top bead has a value of 5, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Does that make sense? Everybody's tracking like a horizontal bar? Are we tracking? Please let me know in the comments if you're tracking. So tell me you're a horizontal bar or a beam. So this is 10. If you notice, it looks very familiar, doesn't it? That's 1. This is 1. This is 1. This is 1. But if you notice, this is now the tens. So when we write, this would be 10. Just like we write 10. Right? We have our 10, 1, and a 0. Because we have a 1 and a 0, we have 10, 1, 0. 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15. After 15, hey, it's me. That's funny. These are really funny screen names. Sorry. So 15, 1, 5, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 20. Right? Just like we have 20 here, that's what 2 looks like. When we do 20, this is a 2 and a 0. So that would be 20. Just like that. Do you see how do you see how it's very similar to the way we write? Thank you so much for liking the live. Hi, Kaylee, welcome back. So, Jennifer, hello, and Tech Druid. Oh, Tech Druid has a number. It's 752. How do I know? Because just as I have 700, this is my hundreds, this is my tens, this is my tens, and this is my 2. So if I look at it, this is 5, 6, 7. This is 5, so this is 50, and now we have 2. And then, who else is here? Oh, Jennifer Wisdom. So Jennifer's screen name is 25. So I have a 2 and I have a 5. Best thing about teaching an abacus is being able to teach the different bases. No, the other guy. That's funny. So we have 25. And if we want to look, we have 30. This is 325. Because this is 325, how do I know? Because I have my ones, my tens, my hundreds, my thousands, and my 10,000s. Does that make sense? Everybody's tracking like the horizontal bar? So when we look, we have 5. This is 50. No, this is not 50. This is 5,000 because it's touching the horizontal bar. It all depends on the top bead touching. It all depends when the beads are in contact with the horizontal bar. When the beads are in contact with the horizontal bar, then we're being counted. Does that make sense? Yeah. Anybody have any questions? How are we doing? How are we doing? Are we tracking like a horizontal bar? Thank you so much for the rose, Radio Jackie. So, and everybody, thank you so much for liking the live. So when we're counting, what we need to do first is we need to understand how to read the abacus. So I have a user. It's 263,776. And then we have decimals. We have 5 and then 7. So how do we know that this is a decimal? There's a decimal here. How do I know it's a decimal? Because just as our decimals when we write, our decimal sits between the two columns, with the ones and the tenths. That's how we know it's a decimal. So we have the tenths and then we have the hundredths. Does that make sense? So when we're looking at it, we have 16,376.57. Does that make sense? Zoop the stoop. So let's do some review right now. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to count the abacus. What we're going to do is we're going to understand what the values of these abacus, the values of the beads. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Anytime the beads are touching the horizontal bar, that is considered counted. So we have 4, and then we have 5. All the top bead has a value of 5. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we have 10. We have 10, and then I can start counting in tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Anybody have any questions, let me know. Make sense? Is that all right? Are we okay? Whew, okay. People are coming, people are going, but we're going to continue to count because we need to learn how to read the one that... I just see ... All right, so we're going to continue to count. So then we do the hundreds. This is 100, 200, 300, 400. Why are you counting in tens? Because I'm just letting people know how to count. So when we look at it, right, we have our ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. That's all. Wally is really tired, just joined. Oh, Kaylee, that's fun. Yeah, I'm just counting because some people just don't understand what I'm doing, right? So I continue to count until people ask me questions, like Kaylee. Kaylee, do you have any questions? Please tell me you have questions, because if not, I'm going to continue to count. All right, so I'm going to count. We have hundreds. We're going to count to hundreds. Braided warrior. Okay, so this is 400, and then we have 500. Anytime the top bead is going to be counted, that is 500. No, I'm all cut up. Oh, okay. Well, what about our adding? Are we going to start adding? Let's start adding. I don't know if anybody's here, but since Kaylee's the only one's talking, I'm going to be... Maybe we should do some adding. Are we ready for that? Okay, we're going to do some counting. Okay, so we're going to do some adding. When we do simple adding, right, we have 2 plus 5 is 7. That makes sense, right? So, or do we want to do some multiplication? Because you can do adding, subtraction, multiplication, and division on our abacus. So, the first thing we're going to do is, let's do some addition. So we have 6, and my answer is 6. What I want to do is I want to add 2. So I add 2. So my answer is 8. Multiplication is my favorite. Okay, let's do multiplication, since you're the only one talking. If anybody else is talking, then I'll answer. But if nobody else is talking, then I might as well... I'm going to go with the first person that answers. Okay. So, Kaylee. Okay, we got it, right? Okay, we're going to do multiplication. Multiplication on the abacus. Here we go. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out a number. Because, oh, you know what? I made this little contraption. It's kind of cool. I don't know. So I made it where, you look at this, right? And then if I need to, I can expand it. All right. Hopefully I get to use that one day. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to... Hey, Beals! You're back! I just got here and it's so confusing to me. Oh, Felix! All right. So I was thinking... Okay, so Felix, thank you for commenting. Hey, Beals, welcome back. Your abacus is on the way. I hope you got my email. I wasn't sure. And then I'm going to count. Felix, 1, 2, 3, 4. all the bottom beads has a value of 1. And then it touches the horizontal bar. The horizontal bar, oh, are we doing we're timesing? 12 that times up by 52. That would be easy. Okay, so Felix, what we're doing is we're counting. So anytime the beads are touching the horizontal bar, we're counting it. What's going to happen is we want to do 5. This is the top bead. The top bead will always be a value of 5 no matter what. So when Kaylee mentioned 52, we do 50 and then 2. How do I know? Because we do our 1s and our 10s. So this is our 1s, our 10s, our 100s, our 1000s, our 10,000s. Does that make sense, Felix? I don't know if Felix is still here. So what's going to happen is we're going to continue to count. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So this is 10. How do I know this is 10? Because I keep looking at my columns. My columns are labeled. My 1s, my 10s, my 100s, my 1000s, my 10,000s. I don't know if Felix is still here. Felix, are you still here? We have 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, good! You're still here. 15. So this is 15. Good. Good. So we have 15. That makes sense, right? So we have 25. Yeah, no, I'm happy that you're commenting, because if you don't comment, I don't know if you're still here. So we're going to do 25. If we look at our columns, now why am I here? Because I have a dot indicator. This indicator tells me that I'm going to start with my 1s here. You can choose any dot, but I chose this one. And what's going to happen is after my dot, like here, is my 10ths. Wait, that makes sense, right? Hey, Fry, 51%. Okay, so 1s, my decimal sits between the 2 columns, and then my 10ths and my 100ths. Make sense? Right? Whoop, whoop. Okay, so I want to get everybody caught up with how to read the abacus, because once you finish how to read the abacus, we're going to start going into multiplication. Woo! Okay, multiplication. Okay, ready? Are we ready? No, I'm here to learn how to use the real quick. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm here to learn how to use this really quick. Hey, Gabriel! Yay, okay. So if we're done, so we got our 100s, right? So if you notice, this will be 9. Every column will always have the max number of 9. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. So when we look at it, we're going to change this, and it will look like this. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, with a decimal and a comma. Can you show me an equation done? I want an example, please. An equation? What kind of equation? Of course we can show you an equation. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is understand why we're going to use an equation. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand why we use an equation. Does that make sense? So in school, and I don't know how old everybody is. When I was in school. Okay, so the max number can be represented on this device. That's correct. You could get a bigger abacus, because size matters. This is 13 columns. That means that you can have 13 digits. So if I choose, I can do this one. If you notice, this only goes up to 10,000. But this one goes up to, if I started here, this goes up to 1,000,000. But if I choose this one to be my 1s, then I will have trillion. So if you want to track the national debt, you can't use this one because it's not enough columns. You would need a larger one, and this is a 23 column one. Reasonable argument. So the national debt, if you want to track the national debt, I would recommend taking a 23 column one. Else, if you're just doing some casual multiplication division, I would probably recommend doing the 13 column one. If you have younger children, you could do this one, which is a 7 column one. And this is kind of nice because it's kind of colorful, and the numbers will not be too big. So when we're doing even multiplication, you could do multiplication up to 2 digits, 2 times 2. Where do you buy your abacus? You can buy it on my website. You can go to if you want this one, I sell it on my website. I like it because you know how kids like to become old people, right? So then afterwards, you can graduate them to a 13 column one, and then they feel like big people, right? I also sell worksheets and workbooks for children and for people, and I'm making one where this is where we're talking about how to add, and subtract. So every number is specific. So you notice I'm looking at the add-in and not the result. So in school, we are focused on the result, whereas in Abacus, we focus on the add-in. I'm looking up because I just want to make sure it makes sense, right? So what that means is when we look at it, we say minus 3. I'm looking at if this is 4, and I take away 3, that's what I'm doing. I'm minusing the 3. I want to show what this is. I want to show what this is. This is taking away 3. So if we know how to add, we know how to subtract. Sorry, where do you, okay, I'm 22, I just like the colors. Oh, hey, Bill. Yes, I like it too. Do you just sell the Japanese abacus? Yes, I only sell the Japanese abacus. There is a Chinese one, but that's my only one. That's so cool. Thank you. I'll check out your website. Thank you. Have a good night. Good night, Fry. Okay. So what's going to happen is we're going to do some, we need to know is we need to, hey, Ethan, welcome back. We're going to need to know how to make a 5. How to make a 5 is plus the 1 and 5 is equal to 5, right? So this is the first thing we're going to do because why are we learning this? We are learning this because we know how to add. That's not a problem, right? 5 plus 4. But what happens if there's not enough beats? So let's say the question is 3 plus 4. So did you sell out of the abacus on the website? I can't seem to find it. No, I did not. It should still be there. I have a whole bunch. It's you look under worksheets if you want to. It's at the very bottom, so you have to scroll all the way to the bottom. Maybe I'll make it more prominent and make it more up top, but I'm still trying to figure out how to do it. So if that makes sense, if you can't, then I will. We'll take a little field trip. Let me take a little field trip. Let's see. Okay, so let's take a little field trip. Let's see. So if I did this, and I go here, there we go. There we go. So if I show you this, what do you see? I need to see this. Okay, so we have this, right? So if I close this out, it's actually underneath worksheets or it's down here. See it's down here? I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, what I did is I scrolled. Or you can go to worksheets. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how to label it. But again, you have to scroll all the way down. It says here, 7-column colorful abacus, if that makes sense. So yeah, you have to scroll down. It's there, if that's okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Yeah, these are the worksheets too. Okay, so I'm going to go back. There we are. I'll go back. All right. So that was that. Oh yeah. So what we're doing is we're talking about formulas. The reason why we're talking about formulas is we need to understand why we're using it. I don't want to just say, you have to memorize. I want to understand why. So here we have this formula. The reason why we have this is because if I do a 3 and I don't have enough beads because I want to add the 4. Now, hey, Trevor, thank you for sharing my life. So I have a 4. Well, we know how to add the 5. Why do we want to add the 5? We want to add the 5 because we want to be able to, Aiden Goof, that's funny. We want to be able to utilize this 5. There's no more lollygagging. We don't want to have a freeloading number. So the freeloading number needs to work. This 5 needs to work. Because this 5 is going to work, what's going to happen is I'm going to isolate this variable. This is a variable that I'm going to isolate, just like in algebra, right? If we said x is equal to 1 minus 5, what happens? If we want to isolate the x, we have to move the 1 over to the other side. So thank you so much for sharing the live. Okay, so when we do it, I'm going to rewrite it. It'll be 5 minus 1. Does that make sense? So now what's going to happen is I'm going to replace this 4 and I'm going to equal to 5. Notice this is not balanced. This is not balanced. So if it's not balanced, well, how do I balance it? All I got to do is minus the 1. So that's how we start with plus the 5 and take away the 1. So my answer is 7. Does that make sense? So that is a formula. That is an equation that we needed to do. That is something. It's fundamental. It's a fundamental concept that we all need to know. Because if you don't know this, then it's going to be very difficult to do adding, subtraction, multiplication, division. See, the thing is with this, it actually scales. So you can do bigger numbers. Do you have a book on how to use the abacus that walks through the steps of addition and multiplication? I'm working on that right now, actually. I started with the you're talking about the adult version? Because the the children version, after we do simple addition, there would be this book. So this is the second book, and then after the second book, no. Do you have a book to use a abacus that walks through the steps of addition and multiple? No. No? Okay, I'll wait for the question. So then there's this. So this is very versatile. Because this is versatile, let's say we have another question. Let's do this question. Let's do this question. We do 2. While I wait for Kaylee's question. Here, we'll do 2. Right? So the question is 2 plus 4. Again, do I have enough beads to add the 4? Yes, yes, I meant that, not just the adult version. Oh, okay, okay. So the children version, so the children version is this one, where it goes all the way to simple adding and subtracting. And then the first thing here, how old is the child? If you don't mind me asking. So what I did was, it goes into the preschool one, but then this one is more like, like number recognition. You could, but they're still adding 10. I haven't done one that's 10 yet. If you want, I have built out some bead recognitions first, if you want to start with that, and then I am building but the thing is they will still need to know this. Is it 10? If they're open to it, they could still do this. They can jump into this if you're okay with that, or they can go straight into adding and subtracting. I didn't break it up, but I guess I should. I can break it up to this where it has only the plus and the minus, as long as they do some bead recognition. I'm trying to think how quickly I can push this out. If you're okay with a digital download, I can try to get that uploaded as soon as possible. Because I have this where I can break it up, and then they would still have to understand how to read it, right? So this helps them understand how to read it. So I have 2, and then this is 7, so I have to bring 7 together. And then after that, then they would have to go into adding and subtracting 5. So then this is the formula that they would have to know. And again, this is about understanding the formula. The concept is the same. There's a little bit of more activities, if they're okay with the activities. Thank you, Felix, for sharing my live. If you're okay with the activities, and then it gets a little bit more robust when it goes to adding the tens. So there's the tens, and that again is another concept. So we have it where, again, we go through each individual add-ins, but the add-ins, they have like help. I added like little asteroids to help. So you know how like the 5, the question is I want to add the 5, and then I want to add another 5. Well, do I have to go to the asteroid belt? Yeah, I got to go to the asteroid belt to plus the 5 and then take away the 5. So then my answer is 10. So I have something like this, if that's okay. And then there's the practice where they have to practice the things, if that makes sense. And then afterwards, after they practice, then they have like activities at the back. So there's like the puzzles where they have to answer the puzzle board, and then they find the answer here. Is that what you're looking for? This is a monumental moment for me because the way you explain it's so easy for me to understand. Oh, thank you, Felix. Yes, it's easy to use. Simple to use, easy to understand. Yeah? Okay. What I could do is, if you're okay for a digital download, I did start a I can push this one out. Let me show you what I got. I'm actually quite excited for it because people were asking for it, and I'm like, what? Here, let me show you. So we could start with number recognition. There we are. Let me show you what I got. Let me show you what I got. We can start off with 2 digits if you want to start with 2 digits. Does the book have mazes? This one? This one has mazes. Yeah, in the back of the book there's mazes. There's this one, and there's this one. I was doing a field trip. That's what I was doing. So, if we have this, I have this where I can't see. Hold on. Hold please. I have this where they start off with understanding place values. If you want to do that, and then we can go into after understanding place values, then we can start going into a maze. And then I have like 26 sheets for this. If you're looking for something like that, these are the answers. Nobody look. But this is just bead recognition. And this one's actually pretty much done. I just haven't figured out like what I was going to do with it. Most of my books have mazes. So this one has a maze, and it started off with this one. Woo. So the 5 has a maze as well. And again, it's the +5 4 maze. Aren't the different colors like the abacus? Just curious. Why aren't the different colored ones like the abacus? Why aren't there different colors like the abacus? Oh, the big one? There is, but it gets kind of like, it gets overwhelming after a while. I do know that I did see the colorful one. I did see one like this that has 13 columns. No, the back of the book. Oh, the color? The beads on the book. Oh, because I wanted the kids to color it. So why aren't the different colors like the abacus? Just curious. Oh yeah. So this one with the maze, my idea was to have the person color it in. So this is the answer, and they would color it in. That's why. If that makes sense. Let me see if I can find another. But let me see one without. Here it is. Where am I going? I'm going here. So this is what it would look like. This is the beginning part of the book. So I have it where this book belongs, and then I have like explanation, if that's what you're asking for. And then after that, the reason why it's hollow, the reason why it's just an outline, because I wanted the I wanted people to color it in. So color in the counted beads. So they color it in so they can recognize, what's being counted. And then from here, we start talking about like what it looks like. And then we have like place values. And after place values, we talk about the maze. Yeah. And then after the maze is the rest of the other maze. So this is what it would look like. So the idea here was to color in what number it is and then find the path. Yeah. Yeah, because I want it to be active. I didn't want it to be passive. I'm glad I found your page. I'm sure purchasing. Oh, oh, okay. This one is like, so I did 26 pages of this one. So there's 26, and then there's answers to every one of them. We did a little bit. I remember if Beals remembers. So this one is the maze, but this one's specifically only number recognition for the 2 digits. The other one I have is a number recognition for 3 digits, but I think at 10 they should be okay with this, and then go into adding and subtracting, if that makes sense. So then that's where the +5 will come into play, and then after that it would be and then after that it would be the plus. After that would be the -5, and then the +10s and the -10s. I think what I need to do is I need to write out like what book comes next, like what formulas comes next, because after we do a two-step equation, then we can start going into multiplication. The reason why is because when we get into multiplication, I don't want the 2-step equation to be difficult for them. Because it does get a little hairy. I mean, you've seen easy but it would be easier if we can do the two-step equation within our multiplication. So here, let's do some multiplication. And so I was trying to figure out like what was the next steps. But I think yeah. So we could do that if you want. I just finished the book. I just finished, but that's only okay. So what am I? Okay, I was gonna publish it on Amazon, but the problem with Amazon is I have to have at least 72 pages or more to create a good book, right? So I can make it as a digital download if you want it as a digital download, and then it will turn into a book. But everything in the digital download, it'll have everything. It's just you got to print it out. I do have others. I mean, I'm also on TPT. Why am I struggling with this? Because I never thought, and honestly never thought that anybody would be interested in it. That's why I'm kind of like, I'm a little bit like thinking about it. So I didn't think it was going to be for all ages, because I just didn't think it was going to be. Because every time people came to me, it was always like, super young. So that's why I'm kind of struggling right now, like to quickly push out as much worksheets as possible for the people that are older, for the kids that are older. Because honestly, like 10-year-olds are not too open to learning something different. But so that's why I was trying to make it interactive, like mazes. And so and the idea was to still go through the process of understanding how to add 5, take away 5, plus the 10, minus the 10, and so forth. But I feel like I need to make it a little bit more intriguing than just a bunch of questions. I think that's why I'm struggling with. So maybe I just make a bunch of mazes and then go through all the mazes as a puzzle, as a thing, and then that would be one theme, and then another theme would be like, I don't know, hidden words or something would be another theme, but it would still follow the same path of understanding how to read the abacus. Because some people just like mazes, like Beals over here, right? So okay, so what are we going to do is we're going to do some multiplication. That was a little bit of a tangent, but that's my thoughts. And so I was working on my books. I was working on some more worksheets. It was just, it's just, I wanted to make it engaging. That's why it's lagging so much. Oh no, am I lagging? Oh, ooh. Well, no, my kids are not here, so it could just be my internet. I have like really bad internet. You would think I'd have really good internet. Oh, it's not. It's not. Oh, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Um, that's interesting. Okay. Well, anyways. Okay. So we're gonna do multiplication, if that makes sense. And so, yeah. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like I'm really excited to be able to make worksheets to make it. I'm trying to make it public friendly. Somebody mentioned to make Abacus public friendly, and I'm like, yeah, I want to popularize Abacus because I think it's the greatest thing next to sliced bread. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to multiply. Now, the reason why we're going to count our numbers. We're going to count our numbers because we need to know where we're going to put our answers. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. When we count, we know our answer is going to be 4. Incredible. Your passion is Thank you for being such a wonderful teacher. Thank you, Trevor. No, thank you. I appreciate the comments and the compliments and the engagement. I really like conversations. It's really nice to be able to talk to people, and I'm not just like the only person like talking in this void. But no, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. So we're going to do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when we look at it, what we're going to do is we're not going to do 2 times 2. We're going to do 5 times 1 because that's how we work. That's how we do it in Abacus world. So when we do it, we go this way because it's like reading back. It's like reading, right? We do 52, not 250. So when we're doing our multiplication, we want to do 5 times 1. Now, notice we do 5 times 1. We strip away the complexities. When we strip away the complexities, we know 5 times 1. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 is a single digit. We go back one column. Because it is a single digit, we need to go back one column and we add the 5. Now, the thing is in new math, they do 10 times 50. And I don't know about you, but that's a lot of numbers. That's too confusing for me. I'm very simple. I'm a simpleton, and I just want to make sure that I get to the basics because this is too complicated for me, right? I mean, it's just another zero, but woof, adding all that stuff kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. So I'm already added the 5. My next one is going to do 10. So when I do 10, how do I know 10? Because 2 times 5 is equal to 10. 10 is a double digit, so all I got to do is add the 1. But I add the 1, don't forget the 0. Don't forget the 0. Yeah, no, you know new math is actually Abacus, but in written form. That's the thing. So if you notice, they write it all out, but they don't use an abacus, which is like crazy. But anyways, everybody should use an abacus. Okay, I'm going to change color. And then this is where we're done with the 5. We're done with the 5. That means we need to reassess where our place value is. So we count 1, 2, 3. Does that make sense? So we have to reassess. So we're going to be at 3. 1, 2, 3. Our question is 2 times 1. Again, we strip away the complexities. We just need to know what 2 times 1 is. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 is a single digit. We go back one column and we add the 2. That's it. That's it. So then what's next? We do 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Kaylee, this was an easy question. 4 is a single digit. You go back one column and you add the 4. And that's it. So what is my answer? What's my answer? So notice I work it out on my abacus. My abacus is only here to track my numbers. Because it tracks my numbers, I don't need to worry about my place. I don't need to worry what place it is. 624. Yes, exactly. 624. 624. Yeah, new math, I realize, is actually abacus math, but in written form. So, like, if we did this in new math, it would be like 50 times 100 is 500, right? And then 50 times 2 is 100. And then we did 2 times 10 is 20. And then we did 2 times 2 is equal to 4. And then you have to add it all up. This is what new math is. Whereas abacus, we strip away the complexities. So what we do is we use the abacus for the tool that it is. It keeps track of our place values. It keeps track of where we're going to put. So that's why when you do division, you can do division on abacus. On the abacus, to do the division, you put your dividend. That was, yeah, see? Kaylee, I told you it was easy. But see, that's what it is, right? But here in new math, then we have to like add everything. I'm like, oh my god. But unnecessary work. Yeah, right? Yeah, it is unnecessary. I feel like it is. But the reason why this is the way it is because they do it they have to write it out. They have to write it out. Whereas on the abacus, it's there for us. Yeah. So, hey Bear, welcome. Trevor, do you have any questions? Please tell me you have questions. Anybody? Hey JP, welcome back. Beal, do you have any questions? Come on. Hit me with some abacus questions. Let me put a thing on that. Yeah. All right. So that is about division. I'm sorry, that is about multiplication. We can do division if we're all ready, or we can continue with multiplication. Or we can go on to going back to addition. Can you do division? Yeah. Okay, we can do division. Let's do it. You haven't seen it yet? Woo! I'm telling you. It's a little bit. I'm telling it. It is a little bit more involved. it's a little bit more involved, and it's talking about we have to talk about what's a divisor and a dividend, and we have to make sure we get that straight. The other thing is again, just as I have mentioned, we have to have a conversation. We have to have a conversation. We have to have a conversation with our numbers and our question, because if we don't have a conversation, then we don't know what we're doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is find my little labels, because if I don't have my little labels, then people get confused. So, what? No questions? Come on, Trevor. Okay, I don't think I've seen division as many times I've been here. You haven't. We've done division before, but you might have kind of like afterwards. What order mattering when multiplied? Does order yes. So if I did 2 times 2, you could do 2 times 2, but then you'd have to start at the ones. But then you'd go backwards. So if we do 2 times 2 is 4, well, that's fine, that's 4. But then if you do 2 times 1 is 2, 2 is a single digit. I don't know what I'm doing after that. So it's a little bit more backwards to me. And so we would have to like figure out, I think we have to go forward. And then that would be 2, I think. I actually never did it this way. So then it'd be 5 times 2 is 10. 10 we have to go back. I don't think that's right. And then 5 times 1 is 5. Add the 5. I guess it's a little harder for me just because I don't know it this way. I always do it the other way. But for me, I believe order matters. If you're really good at it, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. But I believe that we should do it this way. That's why we count where we put our numbers. Okay, so division. So we have our divisor. Let me find a question. Let's see. Okay, this will be easy. This will be easy. I want to join my Abacus, but I can't get it right now. Evelyn. All right. Here. We're going to do this one. We'll do 300 divided by 20. But divided by 2. Our divisor is 2. Our dividend is 334. So what we're going to do is we need to compare. We need to compare. No, we don't need to compare. We need to find our starting point. 1, 2, 3. You know that when we do adding, right? Well, I'm sorry, when we do multiplication, we added our digits. But now we're doing division, we have to we have to subtract our digits. So when we subtract our digits, it's 3 digit, right? 1, 2, 3 is our dividend minus 1 digit. Does that make sense? So my starting point would be 2. So I'm going to count it, 2, 1, 2. When I count it, this is where I'm going to put my answer. Because I'm going to put my answer, I'm going to put my dividend on the abacus because I'm going to subtract my dividend. So when I subtract my dividend, I do 3, 3, 4. Does that make sense? So now I know where I'm going to have my answer, and I know where my dividend is. Now we're going to do some taking away. We're going to do some multiplying. We're not going to be dividing. We're actually going to be doing the finding the missing multiple factor. So what does that mean? Okay, I'm just babbling. Okay, so I'm going to make a chart because the chart makes it easier to see what we're trying to do. My divisor is 2. My dividend is 3. Who is bigger? Why are we doing this? We need to do this because we need to compare our questions. We need to compare our digits. Which one's bigger? Thank you, Trevor, for the heart me. Which one is bigger? I'm not gonna. Okay, I know I gotta wait because sometimes it's the internet. So which one is bigger? My divisor or my dividend? My dividend, right. Thank you, Evelyn. My dividend's bigger. So what's going to happen is, because my dividend is bigger, I have to remember the formula. I have to remember the rule. My dividend is bigger. I'm going to skip one, eat one, or subtract one. That's what's going to happen. This is something that we have to, that's another rule. So what's going to happen is I'm going to start here, but just like my rule, I'm going to skip this column. I'm going to be here. And I'm only going to look at this one column. Where's my little... I'm only going to look at one column. I gotta find it. Now I've lost it. I've lost it. So I skip one column, and I'm only looking at this one column. So the question is, what times 2 is equal to 3 or less? So that's the question. 2 times what is equal to 3 or less? What is my answer? And I gotta find my little thingy thing. Oh, is it here? I don't know. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, yeah. So 2 times 1 is equal to 2. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Gianna. So 2 times 1 is equal to 2. So I'm going to put my 1 here. I'm going to put my 1 there, and I got to take away the 2. So remember, on my dividend, I'm going to take away the 2. So now I have to compare again. You only compare one digit. You only compare apples to apples. Only compare the one column, this one column, to the divisor. Only do 1 to 1. So who is bigger? My dividend is 1. My divisor is 2. Who is bigger? Hey, jingle bells too. Yes, divisor's bigger. Since my divisor's bigger, I need to take two columns. I need to do 2 digits. Does that make sense? I need to make 2 digits. Why? Because my divisor's bigger. So I don't look at 1 anymore. I have to look at 2. So what's going to happen is, my question is what times 2 is equal to 13 or less? Yes, thank you. 2 times 6. 2 times 6 is equal to 12. So I'm going to put my 6 here. So I put 6 here. I'm going to take away 12. Take away 1. Take away 2. Now I have to compare again. I'm going to change color. Who is bigger? I go back to here. Who is bigger? The divisor is 2, or my dividend is 1. Divisors again, right? So that means I got to look at 2. That means I got to look at 2 columns again. So what is my question? What times 2 is equal to 14 or less? Because that number is 14. So the question is 2 times what is equal to 14 or less? 7. Yes, exactly, 7. So I add 7 and take away 14. Take away 1 and I take away 4. So what is my answer? I like this little contraption. I just made this one today too. Yes, 167. So that's division. But notice, I have to have a conversation. You have to have a conversation. You got to know what you're trying to do here, which is interesting because in mainstream math, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about how to compare the numbers. Comparing the numbers really help. And so what Abacus does is it breaks it up into manageable chunks. And that's the interesting thing about it. Abacus breaks it up into manageable chunks. So what we do is we do partial quotient. Partial quotient, I think it is, or partial dividend. I think it's partial quotient. So, but yeah, it's really interesting on how like Abacus just breaks it up for you, and so you just gotta. The thing is you gotta know how to, what do you call it? Like you just need to know how to move around. That's why we talk. That's why we spend some time to recognize the numbers and how to read the numbers. But again, we do all of this in our head. So that's why this is why it's considered brain gymnastics, because we're actually doing these things in our head and we're just moving the beads. The beads themselves don't do anything if you really think about it. The beads just help you track the numbers. You are doing the calculations. That's why we are smarter when we do abacus. because the abacus method breaks it down into manageable chunks. Cool. Okay. Is it easier to do it with your fingers? Maybe. I don't know. I don't do abacus with my fingers. I don't know how to do that. I know there's some YouTube out there and they teach you how to use it, but I've never used abacus with my fingers. I never did abacus fingers. Yeah, I've taught abacus. I've been teaching abacus for about 20 plus years. I I that's all I know. I know how to do, mainstream math because that's what I grew up with, but I learned abacus when I was older. I learned abacus when I was like early 30s. And so I was blown away in how easy everything was. And so because of that, I was like, you know what? So my three boys know how to use the abacus. Are they good? They're not competition competent, but they do well. They do well. If they ever get confused, I mean, if any of them ever gets confused with arithmetic, I always tell them to break out the abacus. Because I don't understand, what I don't understand is, why do we push the kids to go mental math so quickly? How did you start teaching this to young children? Oh, 30, so you're not, yeah, I'm not 30. Yeah, I've been doing this for some time. Yeah. Evelyn. So what I did was I created worksheets for young children, and this is the beginning parts where they start looking at how to read the abacus and what the numbers are. And depending on how young the children are, I have it where this is just a number bead recognition and understanding, the relationship. So I have it where, you count forwards, you count backwards. This is a 1-to-1. And then we keep going, and then they try to figure out what the numbers are in between. And so after that, they know what the bigger than and what's smaller than. And then after that, then they start going into adding and subtracting. Yeah, if you can calculate it all, I've been teaching for 20 years. Yeah, my kids. So, so here's the add-in. What we want to do is we want to focus on the add-in, if that makes sense. So Evelyn, with this, what I wanted to do is I want to get the kids to understand how to move the beads. So the question is 7, so I have 7, and then I have 1. I want to add 1. That's what I'm doing. I'm adding 1. So all they need to do is add the 1 bead. The reason why is I wanted to show them what the 1 bead looks like, because sometimes they get hung up with the that this is 1 but this is not 1, so it's only 1 bead, and I want to get to show them that. And then after that they do like plus 2 after 2, right? Same thing. If I do 7 then plus 2, I want to move these 2 beads. Does that make sense? Because I want them to see, and they will see there's patterns to it. And after they finish the patterns, then they start going into, if they know how to add, they're going to know how to subtract. So that's once we learn how to add it, we need to know how to subtract it, because the next thing was to make it more balanced, right? So when we do this is 3, so I have 3, and I want to take away 2, so I take away 2, and my answer is 1, so I write my answer 1. And then these are just activities that I created that's very abacus specific. The questions are very abacus specific. You can try using other math books, but the problem is they're kind of like all over the place. I'm trying to, yeah. So this is exactly where this is exactly where I was thinking. So that's why I made the preschool for abacus, because there's nothing out there for young kids. And and then they go straight into, once they understand how to move the beads, then the next one would be to start learning how to add the 5. So after they learn how to simply add, then they go into adding the 5. Ayo, what's not my abacus look when I was in preschool like 20 years ago? Oh, so I wonder, Andre, when your abacus, was it 10 beads? Because that's a very popular abacus right now. The 10 bead is very popular. You can get it anywhere, like Target, Walmart, anywhere. 10 beads, yeah. And they move this way, yep. That abacus, it's still an abacus. Abacus, the word abacus, the word abacus just means moving of the beads. And so this is a Japanese abacus where you have a 5 and 1. That means, I'm sorry, 1 and 4. So there's 1 bead on top and 4 beads on the bottom. All the beads on the bottom is a value of 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 when we count it. But then it's interesting because it's all vertical. The ones that goes like this, I don't understand how they can have a place value because it does not mimic the way we write. We write like this, right? So if we write like this, then our abacus follows it. So when we look at it, this is 4, this is 14, this is 24, this is 34, and then this is 44. Does that make sense? So when you want to add the 5, it's always going to be the top bead. The top bead will have a value of 5. Because the top bead has a value of 5, we can do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now what we can do is we can decompose. Evelyn, so that's the other thing. With the abacus, your child will be able to decompose and be able to learn how to count on because they're going to start how to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In kindergarten, that's one of the skills is that they need to know how to count on. So it's interesting when they see like the number, like say they have 7, they know, oh, I just add one more. What does that look like? That looks like 8. If I add one more, this looks like 9. If I added this is 19. So what happens? I just do 20. So they know that when they need to go one more from 9, all I got to do is just add the 10. And that's another number pattern that they'll see. So, Andre, did that make sense? So when we talk about it, we have our decimal. Our decimal sits between the ones and the tenths. Ones and the tenths, and then the hundredths. I don't know why they named it this way. It's such a tongue twister. Right? I don't know how they do this. Like, we don't write like I don't write like that. I would have to like tilt my head. But anyways, so we have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and 10,000s. So when we look, this looks exactly like this. It's just a different place value. So 1 and 1 looks exactly the same. This would be 11. This is 111, right? This is 121. And then we can count it by tens. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And then 100. So all of this is 100. None of the beads touching the horizontal bar, this is 100. If the beads are touching the bar, this would be 130. So the horizontal bar is what tracks our beads. It's like our GPS or the government. The horizontal bar, we can call it, that would be like code name. Are you a horizontal bar? Anyways, so if you notice, I'm not starting at the very edges. The reason why is because I have a dot indicator. The indicator tells me that this is my ones. You could choose this one or you could choose this one. It doesn't matter. You just need to choose one, just like a Pokemon. Just choose one to help you battle. You just choose one to figure out where you want your home to be. You only have one home, right? Well, a vacation home is still a vacation home, but you only have one home. So that's why you have to choose one to be your ones. If this is your ones, then everything shifts, and then there would be ones. So ones and tens, but notice I don't have any more hundreds, right? So that's why, depending on what your numbers is, you would choose whatever dot indicator. It's an indicator. It's not a decimal. It's an indicator. The decimal sits between the two columns. Yeah. So like your number, right? You have a number on your screen name. It's 1,303. That's it. 1,303. That's what it would look like on the abacus. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, thanks for the comment, Andre. If anybody has any other questions, we can continue. But yeah, if you have the beads if you have a 10 bead, you have to modify it if you want to do it like the Japanese version. So this is a Japanese abacus. There is a Chinese abacus. The Chinese abacus kind of works the same. It's just different. It's just a little different. There's a lot of more exchanges with the Chinese abacus. It's not complicated. It's just kind of redundant. So when we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then they have to do an exchange. This is 5, so this is 5. This will always be 5. So then if we do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then we exchange this with this 5. But then we exchange this 5 because 5 plus 5 is 10. So we exchange this 10 to this. So there's a lot of exchanges on the Chinese abacus. This is a Chinese abacus this was before the Japanese abacus. And then the Japanese do what they always do. They made everything efficient. So now the world uses the Japanese abacus. There's a Japanese abacus competition. Very, very popular, very huge. But there's a Japanese abacus competition. I have never seen a Chinese abacus competition. Why would that not just be one? This is not one because I called this as my tens, my ones and my tens, if that makes sense. So this would be if you made this as your ones, then you could do it. It depends on what you choose to be your ones place. So if you did this one, so you can have decimals, you could do that too. Then this would be 10 cents. So it all just depends on where you deemed your one's places. But that's why I feel like the Chinese one is a little bit more complicated because there's no indicator here to tell me what is my ones place. Oh, I wasn't paying. But you know what? Looking at it, it makes sense, right? I mean, that's a very valid question. And it's good because now you're starting to see how the abacus works. So that's really good. So that's the difference between a Japanese abacus and a Chinese abacus. Yep. Okay. So, what are we doing? Are we doing more? So, the books, Evelyn, I mean, it's taken my student. I have a student that's 4. Evelyn, I don't know if you're still here, but it's taken my student about a year to go through this book. This book is about 200 pages. So I wouldn't rush it. I would just, go at their own pace. Thanks for explaining the Chinese abacus. It was confusing for me for a while. Yeah. Not a problem. I'm happy you're still here. Yeah, not a problem. Let me know if you have any questions. But yeah, so going back to this is about 200 pages. So I would take it slow. I wouldn't rush them because every child is different and how they learn will be different. So if you could do 1 page a day, that would be ideal. You're going to get your ups and downs. I'm telling you now, you're going to get your ups and downs, but if you can push through it. I know I had a lot of ups and downs with my kids, and it was a little bit tough. But because they just didn't understand why it was so beneficial. But I knew when I was going through it, like when I was learning it, I knew it was better for them. And then when they went to school, and then in school, they started to do Common Core. Everybody else got really confused, but my kids were okay because they know how to do Abacus. Abacus is really much like Common Core. It's just a different way of seeing things. So they had like a whole bunch, and my kids were upset because they had to always show their work. And they're like, why am I have to show my work? I already know what the answers are. I was like, you need to show your work because your teacher doesn't know Abacus. So I always recommend, no matter what, you need to show your work. Even to this day, the kids still have to show their work, even though they know Abacus. So that's the one thing, because, I'm not here to test the teachers. I want my kids just to understand what an Abacus, how it helps them. But they still need to follow what the teacher says because it's the teacher that, is the one that talks to them. So I still am an advocate of even though my kids know Abacus, they still need to show their work. Just because you know Abacus doesn't mean that you need to show off. You know what I mean? So If the teacher shows you like long division, then do it through long division. Is the abacus in school curriculums? Nope, but I'm trying to. I'm trying to see if I can get it out there. I was going to build some curriculum for the different grades. So I think it came into epiphany that I was going to do an abacus for second grade, third grade, and fourth grade. It's just depending on what the questions are and how it's being built. But that's the hope. That's the hope and the plan is to try to get it into mainstream school in America. So that's why when I talk about it, I talk about having the math terminologies like isolating the variables and substitution and so forth. Because I learned it I'm sorry. Because I learned it I went to school in Latin America and we use it. Oh yeah, or we used to. Yeah, Americans don't do it. They don't. So there's a lot of Americans that don't even know what how to pronounce abacus. So that's really interesting, Andre. So do they stop using it? Wait, but you said yours is a 10 bead, right? Not a Japanese one? That's interesting. I did see some YouTube videos about I think they're in the Philippines and they were using the 10 bead one. That's interesting. I'm surprised that they don't use the Japanese one. I know there's a few abacus teachers that follow me. In El Salvador, we use a 10 bead. That goes. Oh, that's interesting. You can you do they do? Did you do? I used them in the early. Oh, did you do more than just adding and subtracting? Did you do multiplication and division? That's really interesting. The abacus teachers that follow me never. Oh, really? Yeah. So I don't know. Did you see that we did multiplication on this abacus? I don't know if you were there for that. I know that some of the abacus teachers that follow me, they're in Africa, so they're being used in Africa. I know there's a bunch of people in India. There's a few people that are starting to see the abacus. We learned it in very early stage of education. Oh, that's really interesting. Funny. It's the abacus. The 10-beat abacus is available in America, but the teachers don't use it because they don't know how to use it. So, but yeah, I could see it to just be counting divisions, multiplication, division were learned in first grade. Yeah, in America, I think multiplication I think is being taught, I think third or fourth grade, and then divisions I think is in fifth grade. So it's interesting. But I think it goes back to we push the kids to do mental math too quickly. Okay, sorry. So this is the first time I've seen an abacus was in the Boss Baby. I'll have to look at Boss Baby. I've been collecting all the places where abacus is. What is it? The baby, the girl boss baby that was using it? I'll have to take a look because somebody said Tinkerbell, Fairy Mary used it, and then I noticed it was in Penguins of Madagascar, and we were expected to know how to read and write in first grade. Yeah, that's interesting. They're supposed to read and write in first grade as well. Love the show. Is it a movie? It was. Oh yeah, which one was it? Was it the movie or was it the TV show? I know. Oh, anybody ever seen Wonka? Wonka. There was a character named Abacus Crunch. He used a 10-beat abacus. The movie. I will have to look at it. I have a whole collection of like where abacus is. So when I do a webinar, my webinar, then I can start showing off like all the places we know. I loved Wonka, right? Yeah. So there was Wonka, and then there was an I don't know if anybody knows Match Factory. It was a it was a phone app game called Match Factory, and inside there is a abacus. If I remember, he was using it to count money or something. Yeah. Okay. I'll take a look. I'll see if I can find that clip. It was only mentioned in Kung Fu Panda. There wasn't an actual visual of the abacus in Kung Fu Panda, which is kind of sad. So I didn't clip that one because I didn't want to have to like clip the whole thing. Anyways, so yeah, I've been collecting where Abacus is. And then there was one where my kid was playing this other game. I forget what it was called. And Empires and something, and it was battling. And this one character had he was called he uses a pulverizing abacus. And I'm like, what the heck? So it is pretty much everywhere. But we just don't pay attention because nobody really knows how to use it. So going back, that's why I try to use mainstream terminologies when we talk about the abacus, because in the abacus world we have our own vocabulary, and I think that's what segregates us from mainstream math. So Tech Druid is still here, and I was wondering if you have any questions. I only see Tech Druid and Andre and Beal and Radio Jackie. Radio Jackie, I don't know if you're still here. And Trevor. Do you guys have any other questions? We can continue on doing like more math questions. Okay, so we can do that. What are we going to do? Let's see. Oh, have a good night. I'm an adult with a job. Have a good night. It was good to talk to you. Thank you again for letting me know about El Salvador. I'll have to keep that in mind. But the 10 bead. All right. So, we can do this one. We want to do this. This one is here's a question. I don't know if anybody would like a hidden word. So this one again is the hidden word. Oh, this one's kind of easy. Because what do we have? We have 7. We have 7. And then we have take away 6. We have take away 6. So the answer is 1. Huh. Let me see. I need to find 1. So this is 1. And then again, we have 4. So if I do 4, and then I plus the 1. Do we remember how to plus the 1? Do we remember how to plus the 1? We want to plus the 1 here. I have all these little like activities, like not activities, but I have all these things that I've like created. So do I want to plus the, no, I don't want to do that. I want to plus the 5. Where's plus the 5? I want to add the 1. There we go. Plus the 5, right? So what I want to do is plus the 5, take away the 4. So my answer is 5. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yep, that's what this is. So that's why I have a little flippy thingy to remind us. And then I made it this way too, horizontal. I don't know if this helps you. Oh, so if we did, no, let's do this one. Here it is. So I made it like if I wanted to plus the 1. So I have here. So I have 4 and I want to plus the 1. But if you notice, there's not enough beats to plus the 1. So here I have it where if you think that there's if you can line up the 5, it's a reminder, say plus the 5 and then take away the 4. Why isn't it part of the book? Because I just made it. I made it like last week. The book has been out for about, I don't know, 6-7 months. It's because I made it for my kid like 13 years ago, like 12 years ago. And I made it, and I did it because he had some problems with the abacus, or like learning his multiplication, learning his formulas. And so he thought he was, cheating, and he was like, oh, this is so cool. I got this thing that helps me. And so somebody in one of my lives were like, that's really cool. And I was like, okay. And then so I made it, I printed it out, and then I selling it. So I actually have this on my website, and I'm selling it. I think I'm selling it for like $3. But it was just one of those things, like I have like these little gadgets that I've been making because like I did this for my one child where I would had to cover it for him because because there's too many columns and it's overwhelming. So now what I want to do is I'm going to try to figure out the measurements on how to make this so then it's easy to, you know, work with. So that's what I was going to do. I made this today too. So I think I figured out the logistics. But I think it helps kids, or even like it just helped with my kid to be able to just look at the one column, because you look at too many columns, it gets overwhelming. So thank you for the follow. But yeah, that was the that was the reason why it's not in the book. Um, but yeah, I think I was gonna add it like if you want to, if you get the book. I haven't figured out the logistics on that yet. So, but that's why it's not in there yet. um, I have to update it. I actually just made it like last week. Inventing with Lynette. Yeah. Yeah, I have all these little things that I like to create. And that's the thing, right? The thing is I was thinking, like, I was actually talking to my kid about it. It's like, I wish I did this earlier, but I couldn't because my kids were young. So, like, my youngest one, he's 11. And so if I did this 10 years ago, I couldn't because there's not enough. Having young kids was just tough. And so now my kids are older, they don't need me as much. Then I have more time to be creative. So like I had this little thing where I created a little flippy thingy, and the reason why is the same thing to like talk about the tens. And if we added the 9, so let's say this one is plus the 9. So the question is 9 plus 9, right? Plus the 9 is plus the 10. Oops, sorry, plus the 10 minus the 1. So that's what this is, right? So I was thinking, well, what if I made it vertical? So if I have the 9, if you notice, I want to plus the 10 minus the 1. So if I line it up like this, you will notice that when I look at it this way and I line it up, 0 is here. 1 is here. So all I have to do is plus the 1. And then here I take away the 1. So I take away the 1. So my answer is 18. I don't know if that made sense. But I thought this was really cool when I made it more vertical. Because the vertical makes a lot of sense to me. But I've also been doing it for a while. Yeah, right? So then that's the thing. So when you start looking at this and you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? Okay, so here, let's do another question. Let's do minus. Let's do minus. Or no, are we going to add it? Okay, you know what? Let's do 9, 9, 9, 9 plus 3. Let's do that, right? So we do not. Okay, there's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? There's 4 9s. We got to add the 3. So when we look at it, we're going to add the 3. We cannot add the 3. How do we add the 3? We add the 3 by minus 7, right? See. Actually, what I did is I took my kid at the time. We were practicing our letters, and so I actually made like cards for him. So we were playing like Go Fish with the letters. So okay, we're gonna add the 3. So to add the 3, I'm gonna plus the 7. We know how to do that, right? So we do plus the 3 is equal to plus the 10 minus 7. We know this. So if I want to add the 3 here, I'm going to add the 3 here. What do? I need to plus the 10. Oh, sorry, you can't see it. Hold on. There we go. So I want to add the 3 because it's 9. So what I want to do is I want to plus the 10 minus the 7. So I can't plus the 10. Do you see that? I cannot plus the 10. So what do? I have to expand it and I have to plus the 10. But notice I cannot add the 10 because I don't have any more beads. There's only 9 beads here. So what do? Let's take away the 7 so we don't forget. Let's take away the 7 and we want to plus the 10, right? 0, 1. Notice I don't have any more beads to the 1. What do? Do you remember how to add the 1? Plus 1 is equal to plus the 10 minus 9. So plus the 10 minus the 9. So what are we going to do? We're going to plus the 10 minus the 9. Is it here? No, it's not here. It's over here. So I'm going to move it over like this. So this is now plus the 10 minus the 9. Plus the 10. I can't plus the 10, but I can minus the 9. So I'm going to minus the 9. I need to plus the 10. What happens? I got to do it again. I got to add the 1. When I add the 1, I can't do it. So what do? I do it again. Plus the 9. So plus the 9 is equal to plus the 10 minus the 9. Can't do it. So I'm going to take away the 9 so I don't forget. And I go again. One more over. So then what do? Plus the 10 minus the 9. Plus the 10. Can I add the 1? Yes. So now I'm done. And then I need to take away the 9. So then when I look, that's my answer. Is it 2? Yeah. 9. I'm sorry, 10002. Yeah. But yeah, it was just interesting on how to make these things, these flippy things. So that was the other thing I was making was this flippy thingy. Because I felt like, I mean, this was okay, but I felt like it was kind of hard to see. So that's why I was trying to make something out of it. Oh, it's there. So I try to make it where it's a little bit nicer. So we expand it like this. And then got a little confused. Okay, yeah. Okay, maybe. Okay. So maybe this way. So 9999. Maybe it was too much. So here I want to add the 3. To add the 3, I need to plus the 10 minus the 1. Plus the 10 minus the 7. So I'm going to plus the 10 minus the 7. So notice I'm going to plus the 10 minus the 7. Let me minus the 7, right? I need to plus the 10. What's another way to plus the 10? Plussing the 10 is what? Plus the 1 is equal to minus the 10 plus the 9. Does that make sense? So we did this, right? We took away the 7. Now we're here. We want to add the 10. We can't add the 10. So we know the formula. Plus the 10 is equal to plus 1 is equal to plus the 10 minus the 9. So let's minus the 9 first so we don't forget. And then we need to plus the 10. So now we have to plus the 10. Again, we don't have enough beads to plus the 10. It's all there. Yeah. So what do? We have to plus 1. Plus the 10 minus the 9. Let's minus the 9 again. And then we go here, plus the 10. So now we plus the 10. We can't plus the 10 again. Whew. What do? Plus the 10 minus the 9. So it's plus the 10 minus the 9. I did it backwards, but it's plus the 10 minus the 9. So then the answer is, so what we just did is we just repeated plus the 10 minus the 1 over and over again until we got to our end. That's why. So what this was an example of is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a 4-step equation. And it's a little bit more, right? This is a 4-step equation is what we just did. The 4-step equation, so as you see, we have all of these foundations. We understand these are all foundations that we have. We just need to know how to Tetris them. That's what it is, Tetris. So sometimes, doing it this way and focusing on the columns, right? Or having something a little flippy thingy. But see, the thing is, I mean, it's okay for me because I've been doing it for a while. But for other people that's still new to this, I think having some study aids will help. Yeah, you want to do that? We can do that. But I got to use a bigger number. I got to use my bigger abacus. So how many 9s is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 9s. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4,000. Okay, got it. Right? I think I like the flippy thing because it's oh, thank you so much for the heart, Beal. How it is creating a simple systems to follow. Hi, Melinda. I think so too. Yeah, this flippy thingy or this one. I made a few. It was just one of those things. Like I think it's just being able to understand how to do it all. Okay. So the original. Oh, the original. Why 4 behind a comma? Thousands. Ones, hundreds, ones, tens, hundred, thousands. That's the thousands. Oh, sorry. Wrong one. Sorry. It's supposed to be like that. And then 1, 2, 3, and then like that. So it's a million. Ones, 9999999. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, no. Nope, wrong one. So I got to go here. Here. 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope, 7. I got to do 7. That's what I got to do. Yeah. So I got to do 7. So now this is my ones, right? Now we're using a different ones. So again, I want to add 1. But notice I don't have enough beads to add 1. So yeah. Oh, we could do it this way. So we could do it this way. Plus the 9, we want to add 1. When we add 1 to here, we're adding 1 to here, there's not enough. So what do? We have to plus the 10 minus the 9. Let's minus the 9 so we don't forget. And then we need to do it again. Plus the 1. So again, plus the 1, right, is equal to plus the 9, minus the 9 plus the 10. Need to do it again. Minus the 9 plus the 10. 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 And there we are. Plus the 10. I think of how can I teach but also get a student to repeat without me. I do, you do, we do. Yeah, and that's what it is. I think we still need to. There's a lot of theory behind like I do, you do, we do. I like I do, we do, you do because we all mimic each other, right? We learn from each other. I don't think we should tell the kids to just do it and figure it out. I believe in the I do, you do, I do, we do, you do. So but that's my 2 cents. Because if we don't show them, then how are they going to really know? I mean, yeah, I don't know why there's a debate on the different ways of teaching like that. Yeah, me too. It makes a big difference. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. It's like, it's like the neglected child, right? If you really think about it, if you don't have a conversation with a child, if you don't do things with a child, right, the child is never going to have original thought. They start from understanding how you do it, and then they try to mimic how you do it. Just like language, you don't learn in a vacuum. You learn with conversing. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why people. I don't know why that's a debate. I honestly don't know why. Anyways, yeah. So, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Can you do more division? I have an Abacus. Oh yeah, Evelyn. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we could do it. So let's do this one. Let's do this one. Okay, there it is. So we're gonna count how many digits. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4. Minus 1. This is 1. Excuse me. So I have my dividend and my divisor. And now what we're going to do is we're going to, hello Paris, welcome back. So we're going to, we got to lock it, right? So we go 1, 2, 3. So we're going to have it here. We're going to lock 1, 2, 0, 0. So then we have to compare. we compare our dividend, our divisor. Our divisor is 3. Our dividend is 5. Who is bigger? Our dividend's bigger. So remember the rule. Yes. Remember the rule, eat one, skip one. Right? Thank you. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you, Evelyn. So we're going to skip this column, and we're going to go here. And then we're going to subtract this column. Hold, please. So we're going to subtract this column. So that means the question, what would the question be? Do we know what the question would be to figure out this answer? Yeah. So my question would be, what times 3 times what is equal to 5 or less? 3 times 1. 3 times 1 is equal to 3. So I put 1 here, and I take away 3. So here I need to take away 3. I cannot take away the 3. What do I do? If I minus the 3, I just minus the 3. I have so many little flippy thingies. I minus the 3. What do I do? I'll use my original one. Minus the 3. Minus the 3 is minus the 5 plus the 2. So I minus the 5 plus the 2. Does that make sense? Yes, good. So then I have to reassess. Who is bigger? My dividend is 3. I'm sorry, my divisor is 3, or my dividend is 2. Who is bigger? Yes, thank you, Melinda. So yes, my 2? No, 2 is not bigger. 3 is bigger. Yes, 3 is bigger. Yeah. So then, what is my question? Because 3 is bigger, I'm going to utilize 2 columns. Whoa. I'm going to utilize 2 columns. Thumb that. I'm going to utilize 2 columns. Right? Because my divisor is bigger, what would my question be? Hey, Taro. What would my question be? We're doing division, Taro. What would my question be? What kind of question? Well, it would be, how do I take this away? I'm sorry, how do I divide this? So it would be 3 times what is equal to 21, 21 or less? That would be the question. So what times will equal to 21? 7. So that would be my answer. My answer is 7. And I take away 20, and I take away 1. And that's my answer. So my answer is 1700. Yep. So that's my answer. 1700. So, but that would be the question. Like these things that we ask ourselves, what would be our missing factor? We can do another one. Let me clear. Get a new page. So when we look, okay, let's see, let's try this one. Let's do this one. 6 divided by 558. So where is our starting point? Where would our starting point be? Five and 5. Starting point is 1, 2, 3. We have to find how many digits are in our dividend. So we have 3 digits in our dividend. So 3 minus how many digits are there in our divisor? There's 1 digit in our divisor. So our starting point would be 2. When we count it, it'd be 1, 2. So we're at the tens. Now what we're going to do is we're going to place our dividend. My face just, anyways. So yeah, we're going to place our dividend. Now we're going to compare. When we compare, we need to have a conversation with our numbers. Our divisor is 6. Our dividend is 5. Who is bigger? We only compare our 1 digit. We only compare apples to apples. Yes, our divisor is bigger. Our divisor is bigger, so what we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 columns, and just as Kaylee says, 6 times what is equal to 55 or less? Is it 5, 6, 8 is 48? Is it 9? 9 is 54, right. So 6 times 9 is 54. So I got to put 9 here, take away 5, and then take away 4. Can I take away 4? I want to minus the 4. How do I minus the 4? Minus the 4 is, where am I? Minus the 4 is minus the 5 plus the 1. So then what do? I compare. 1 is my, I'm going to change color. 1 is my dividend. My divisor is still 6. Who is bigger? Yes, divisor is bigger. So if its divisor is bigger, I'm going to take 2 columns. These are the 2 columns I'm going to take. So what is my question? Thank you, Evelyn. So what is my question that I ask myself? Hey, Sky. So what's my question that I'm going to ask? The missing factor, right? 6 times what is equal to 18 or less? 18 or less, right? We know 6 times 3, yep. So I add the 3 here, and I take away 18. Take away 1, take away 8. Yes, thank you, Evelyn. Yeah? Is that all right? Hey, Andrew. 93. No, not 93. Is it 93? Oh, yeah. It is 93. I missed that. You're right. 93. Answer is 93. Yeah. We all right? We okay? Any other burning questions before we head out? I think I'm starting to remember all the steps. Thank you. Yeah, it just takes a little bit. It just takes a little bit of practice. But a lot of it is just trying to answer the questions, right? And that's what it is. You have a conversation with the numbers. Have a conversation with the math problem, the math arithmetic. Because the more questions you have, the easier you'll see it. So, but yeah, good. I'm happy you're able to get it. Every time I remember, I forget again. It all takes time. It's not like it's supposed to be instant, right? You too, Melinda. Thank you for joining me. It's not supposed to be instant. The idea is that it takes time for it to marinate and get into your work long term memory. Next live, I will have questions. Usually I get questions when I'm about to sleep. Okay. Let me know, Beal. Let me know. And if there was any other like, yeah. It was interesting to do the multiple step questions. Those are always fun. There's more multiple steps. There's just, how to do it and stuff. But yeah, let us know. Let me know in my next live. Okay, everybody, have a good night. Sleep well. I hope we all sleep well. And I'll see you in my next live. Toodaloo, kangaroos. Thank you for the tiny diny. Thank you, Evelyn. Have a good night. Bye, Kaylee. Thank you, Beal, for the tiny diny. All right. Have a good night. And now.